Right, we're going to do a demonstration of trains. This is the simple train setup that works flawlessly. It's what's called a backwards and forwards train setup, or a double header train. This stretch of concrete is going to be our test area. I'm going to have a train station, a freight platform, and a liquid platform, and then at the other end we're going to have the same again, and we're going to run a train between the two, set up a timetable, and demonstrate how it all works. This is the simplest way to run trains between two locations. However, it's questionable whether this is the best setup, because when you try to expand this type of setup, it can start to have some complications and may not be the optimal setup at that point in time. But when you first start out, you generally just want to run one thing from one location to another, like oil. And this can be a great way to get it going. So we'll go through and demonstrate how that works. So the first thing we're going to do is, in the build menu, we have the train stations. Now you'll notice I'm standing high up. That makes it easier to visualize how to place the train stations down. When you're standing down at ground level, it's not so easy to see. So we come into our transportation menu and railed vehicles. We've got train station, freight platform, and fluid freight platform. So we'll try to start off with the train station. You can see the train station has an arrow pointing in the direction that the train enters in. This is a really important step and part of the train configuration, because the freight platforms have to be behind the arrow. The train comes into the station and pulls up, and all the carriages behind it are a part of the station and its load and unload mechanisms. Freight platforms that exist in front of the train station, in front of the arrow, aren't part of that. And you can't have trains that have freight carriages in front of the front engine. That's a very clear distinction that needs to be made. So you can rotate the station whichever way you want. I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm just going to have it in the middle. That'll do. Okay. So now we've got the train station. It's easy to come down and put the remaining platforms down because they lock in. So you can come in and do a freight platform. Now a freight platform, if I come around the side here, you can see when it clicks in, it locks in about now. There we go. You can see it has on the left the inputs, on the right the outputs. So it has two inputs and two outputs. You can rotate it and have it either side. The the stations it doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. It's an aesthetic thing. We'll just have it on this side. And then the other option we're going to put down is a fluid platform here. And it's the same again. And we'll put the fluid platform, and that's it. And train stations have names assigned by default. For the first 20 or so they have names, and then after that they become like station 21, 22 and so forth. We'll come back and look at this further, but each platform, train station and platform, you can press E on it and you can configure it. It needs power and you can set up timetables. We'll do all that soon. And the same, and also you configure each platform to be a load or an unload platform. And currently they are a load platform by default every time you create them. And the fluid, I don't know why I call them fruit, but the fluid ones are the same. Then we'll just go down to the other end here, and I'm going to add the same again.